Welcome, 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 welcome to the Daily Antidote of Song. Hello, 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 everyone. Let's welcome everyone on Facebook Live. Hello, welcome, Facebook Live. I'm Elise coming in from Pine Lake, Georgia. I'm so excited to host the Daily Antidote of Song today. Someone is going to tell me it's day 700 and something. I'm not sure what, so I'm sure one of you is going to tell me what our day number is. Today we are having the wonderful guest that we've met before, Shruthi Veena Vishwanath, coming in from India. And she is not on the daily antidote, she's on the nightly antidote of song because it is 11 and a half hours later for her. So we're so grateful that she is staying up to sing with us. And before I introduce Shruthi again, I would like to welcome everyone that is here. So welcome, welcome, Becky in BC and Arlene in Berkeley. Welcome, Kaylin, Two Trees. Welcome, Delhi and Aloysius in Massachusetts. Welcome, Jenny in the UK. And Susan, thank you so much for your card. Welcome, welcome. And Karen in Oregon. Shari, thank you for your card in New Hampshire too. Thank you, Dan in Vienna and Sheila in Florida. Welcome, Brian and Christiana. Welcome, Carolyn, who's telling us it's 706 days we've been singing together. That's just amazing. Thank you so much, Carolyn, and thank you for your cards also. Thank you, Kate, and your snow day, Jamie in Victoria, and Kathleen in Albuquerque. Thank you, Caroline in DC, Trish in Victoria, Nancy with your beautiful Irish cow, and Ralph in Victoria. Welcome, Anne in Maryland, and Storm with yet another fantastic hat. Hello, Lynn and Cliff in Vermont, Luda and Mark in Victoria. Hello, Sarah in Texas and Susan in Seattle. Thank you so much for your best wishes. Hello, Fred in the DC Labor Chorus. Hello, Jim in New York and Annette and Janet in Atlanta, my friend. Hello, nice to see you. Hello, Bob and your bear in Massachusetts. Hello, Sandy in Western North Carolina. Hello, Jean in Pittsburgh, Deborah in Kentucky, dancing as always. Hello, Juana La Tejana and Kate and Cricket. Hello, so good to see you. I see one curly top. I hope there are many more of you coming in. And Julie in Ontario, and Veena, I think, coming in from India, and Loriana, Kachina, Courtney in Vermont, and Anne in Knoxville, Amos and Gary and LNG, Phil and gang and Moonflower and Kath on the Arapaho Cheyenne lands, and our wonderful Busy Graham from Carpe Diem Arts that brings us the daily antidote of song, and Anna and Dick and Kathy, our wonderful song leaders from Victoria, British Columbia. Welcome, welcome everybody. If I didn't get you now, I will certainly get you on the way out, because it's time to sing in the daily antidote of song. Hi everyone, I'm so glad to be back with you on this very special day. I am in Georgia and the temperatures are going down in the 20s today. So as soon as we finish, I'm going to go get my quilts and put them out over my little baby lettuces that are coming up because I don't want them to die. But first, I want to introduce my wonderful, wonderful friend coming into us all the way from India. This is Shruthi, and she has been with us one time before. I'm happy to have her especially today during Women's History Month because she has special a mashup. Back in my day, we used to call it a medley, but now it's a mashup. And so, Shruthi, welcome so much. And let us hear what you're going to teach us and take it away.
Well, hi Elise and hi everyone. It's so lovely to be back. This is my hat trick version of the daily antidote, and I really hope to. I'm so glad to see all of you singing and joining in. Today is I decided to bring you a little wickedness of song, and because it's Women's History Month, and I was wondering, I said, should I bring you a song from India, should I bring you a song? So actually today is a meeting of two wonderful women. One is a 16th century mystic and poetess from India. Her name is Meera, and the other one is actually from way on the other side of the globe. And it's actually an African American spiritual that I first heard from a version of Sister Rosetta Tharpe on YouTube, thanks to the wonderful Great Wide Web. And the beautiful thing is that these two songs seem to go so beautifully with each other. It spoke about the river and down by the riverside and taking one's boat to the shore. And I heard the songs, and I was actually sitting on the banks of the river Song in northern India a few months back. And suddenly it seemed like Sister Rosetta Tharpe and Meera wanted to sing together. And there was a little song that came with the meeting of these two river songs, let's just say. And so I'm going to teach you both of these. I'm sure a lot of you already know Down by the Riverside, so that should be easy enough. But I will teach you Kinaare, Lagao, which is the song by Meera from the 16th century. Perhaps the tune is more modern, but the poem is definitely at least 400 or 500 years old. In which century are we? 21st? Yeah, 500 years old. So Meera was a princess in the state of Rajasthan in western India. But she didn't really want to be a princess or a queen or married to her husband, because her husband and his family troubled her. And so she found refuge in the Lord Krishna, and wrote a lot of songs about Krishna, about seeking redemption from this life, from all of these chores, but also seeking love and seeking all wondrous things in her devotion for the Lord. And I thought, what a universal, wonderful theme this is. So the first part is Kinaare, Lagao, and I'm going to teach you the chorus. Kinaare lagao, kinaare lagao, kinaare lagao, kinaare lagao, naav kinaare lagao, prabhuji, naav kinaare lagao, prabhuji, kinaare lagao, kinaare lagao, kinaare Kinaare lagao, naav kinaare lagao, prabhuji, naav kinaare lagao, prabhuji. Kinaare is the shore, it's the riverside, and naav is the boat, and she uses the boat as a metaphor for the body. So she says, take this boat to the shore, O Lord. Prabhuji is O Lord. Kinaare lagao, 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 naav kinaare lagao, prabhuji, naav kinaare lagao, prabhuji. Nadiya gahari. So we're going to the first verse, and then we'll come back to Kinaare Lagao, and in the middle I'm going to sneak in down by the riverside when you're least expecting it. You'll see how well it goes together. Nadiya gahari, naav puraani, Nadiya gahari, naav puraani, Nadiya gahari, naav puraani, naav puraani, naav puraani, naav puraani, naav puraani, डूबत नाव तराव प्रभुजी, डूबत नाव तराव प्रभुजी. किनारे किनारे लगाओ, किनारे लगाओ, किनारे लगाओ, किनारे लगाओ, नाव किनारे लगाओ प्रभुजी, नाव किनारे लगाओ प्रभुजी. ज्ञान ध्यान की सांगड़ बांधी, ज्ञान ध्यान की सांगड़ बांधी, सांगड़ बांधी, सांगड़ बांधी, सांगड़ बांधी, सांगड़ बांधी, दौड़े दौड़े चले आओ प्रभुजी, दौड़े दौड़े चले आओ प्रभुजी. Gonna lay down my burdens down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna lay down my burdens down by the riverside. Gonna study war no more. Ain't 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 gonna study war no more. ज्ञान ध्यान की सांगड़ बांधी, ज्ञान ध्यान की सांगड़ बांधी, सांगड़ बांधी, सांगड़ बांधी, सांगड़ बांधी, सांगड़ बांधी, दौड़े दौड़े चले आओ प्रभुजी, दौड़े दौड़े चले आओ प्रभुजी. किनारे लगाओ, किनारे लगाओ, किनारे लगाओ, किनारे लगाओ, नाव किनारे लगाओ प्रभुजी, नाव किनारे लगाओ प्रभुजी. Gonna lay down my burdens down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna lay down my burdens down by the riverside. I'm gonna study war no more. Kaahe meera giridhar naagar, Kaahe meera giridhar naagar, giridhar naagar, giridhar naagar, giridhar naagar, giridhar naagar. चरण कमल बलियाओ प्रभुजी, चरण कमल बलियाओ प्रभुजी. Gonna lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside. Gonna study war no more. Ain't 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 gonna study war no more. Kinaare lagao, kinaare lagao, kinaare lagao, kinaare lagao, naav kinaare lagao prabhuji, naav kinaare lagao prabhuji. riverside, down by the riverside, gonna lay down my sword and shield. Down by the riverside, gonna study war no more.
Oh, wow. So, so beautiful. Wow. Thank you, Shruti. That the last time that you went through um, the Indian song, I started singing the rivers down by the riverside together, and they just flow together so beautifully. I can't wait until we are in person again so we can sing all of these different layers together at once. Everybody looked so beautiful singing that, and what a perfect choice for today. Um, Tell us a little bit about how you chose the two songs and your work. A lot of your work is actually highlighting women composers, and it's amazing all the things that you do. So speak to us.
I find that a lot of poems and a lot of my work basically is about poems from the 13th, 14th, 15th centuries. I mean, I think, whenever I sing an 18th century or 19th century piece, I kind of joke that that's contemporary for me. That's kind of the era in which I work, which was, and there's a reason for that, because that is sort of the golden age of rebellion in Indian spiritual poetry. It's a time when people were taking control of the narrative, and sort of challenging dominant narratives, and why those dominant narratives had to exist. And of course, as narratives were being challenged, some of the finest voices to speak up in those times were that of the women. So you have Meera Bai, who is from the western state of Rajasthan, but you also have several centuries before her. You have Akka Mahadevi from southern India, and you have Andal from southern India, and you have people from West India, and Laleshwari from North India, and people from my state, from the state I'm currently in Maharashtra. You have Zanabai and Soirabai, and so you have all of these voices that are speaking up. And it really feels, and I don't know whether to be happy or sad about this, that somehow the narrative and the challenges that we're going through hasn't really changed, as both as human beings and especially as women. And I feel like as we continue to sort of address dominant structures in the world, and see how to work our way around them, and work our way around them especially with love. A lot of these poets said that love is the only answer to all of this madness that's happening. And they said that 5 centuries or 10 centuries before, and we're seeing how relevant it is now. So I feel like there's so much value in just having voices of women and voices of people who are marginalized in those times amplified, because I think it speaks to where we are even today, and maybe it can give us some answers, or if not answers, at least we know that kind of we've been here before, and we shall survive in one way or the other by doing little things. And so yeah, it seemed kind of natural that Mirabai and Sister Rosetta Tharpe had a little conversation of their own. That conversation came on quite naturally. It wasn't in my head like, oh, I need to meet. It came from the heart. So I think that's it felt right. It felt right.
It's beautiful. And I saw you sent me yesterday a video that you made singing those two songs, actually sitting by the river and playing percussion on river stones. So Aaron will put that link in the chat because I'm sure people will want to see that. Shruti, I was wondering, did these women, were they poets or did they also compose music? Is this music that you've composed, or what's the story on the relationship between the words and the music?
Well, at the time they would have sung the poems, because all of these are oral traditions, sung traditions that have come to us. Unfortunately, though, of course, because there was no recording 5 centuries back, what survives is only the text.
Oh,
But that's a start. So the compositions, sometimes they're they're sort of rooted in the oral traditions of the communities that where Mirabai would have traditionally been sung, and sort of it carries forward from generation to generation. So one would assume that maybe it's a similar musical structure, but we can't really say. And so a lot of my work actually is in sort of reviving these poems back for performance, because I feel like uh, in the sung traditions there's so much energy, and a lot of these rebellious poems have been translated, or they exist in text, but when they're sung, when they're inhabited in the body, and when there is breath and air and people are listening, and you're responding, I feel there's a new life to it, and there's a churning that happens that doesn't necessarily happen when you look at a piece of text.
Oh, you're doing amazing, beautiful work to bring these poems, these words, these powerful words that are so, I mean, they're completely relevant today as they were, centuries ago. And for us to be able to sing along with you, I think one of the things that's so powerful is the repetition, you know, that it's really that idea of the chant, the repetition where we get it into our bodies. And even if we don't know the language, we sing it with you, we hear you. And just like children do, and when we learn language, right, as little tiny children, we're imitating the sounds we hear. And with a repetition, it just becomes part of us, just like breath, just like sound. And so we're just singing right along with you, even though maybe we're not all fluent in all of the languages that you sing in. um, but you make it so accessible. You make it so beautiful. And I know that one of the things that you do is that you also have a kind of a daily antidote in India. Tell us about that, because maybe some people would, I don't know if it's the middle of our night or how it meets, but I know that I sang with you one night. I think it was 11:30 or 1:30 or something in the morning. It was beautiful. So tell us a little bit about the daily practice that you have.
Well, just like with the daily antidote, when the lockdown began, now about 2 years ago actually, I began to wonder what my role was as an artist in these times, and as a musician. I said, okay, what I can do is offer song every day. And I said, okay, I'm going to offer it for 2 weeks, because that's how long we naively thought the lockdown was going to last. And well, long story short, it's now been almost 2 years. We celebrate our second birthday on the 31st of March this year. And it's become this incredible community of people who tune in from all over the world. Actually, it's a smaller group, and I it's mostly me who leads the songs every day. Although we do have guests once a month, and it's just joy to share breath and song, and to see each other every day. And it's a 6 day a week sort of song community, Monday through Saturday. And I will put in my email for you to, if anyone would like to sort of get details. I think a few of you here have tuned in at various points of time, but you're very, very welcome. And the idea is also to, because in India, a lot of the classical music structures that I've grown up in are very hierarchical, and it's like, oh, either you're in the inner circle or you're not. And I wanted to kind of disrupt that space of who had access to learning music and who could sort of feel eligible to learn music. So we have 60-year-olds and 16-year-olds and a spunky 7-year-old who come and share space, every day. So it's quite lovely. And yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So you said Monday through Saturday, but I think for those of us here, it's like Tuesday through Sunday or something, just because of the
Yeah,
time.
yeah. I think it's Sunday through Friday, actually, Elise. Thank you.
Okay,
Sunday
okay,
through Friday.
yeah. Is it at 11:30 p.m. Eastern time? What time
Well,
is it your time?
right now it is. I think the clocks change tomorrow, right?
Oh,
Uh,
right.
so then I think it'll be 7:30 p.m. Um, Pacific. Or no, it'll be 8:30 p.m. Pacific and 11:30 East Coast time when the clocks shift tomorrow, which I believe is tomorrow for all of you. Yeah.
Great. Anything else you want to tell us about what you're doing before we sing the beautiful songs with you again?
Well, the other thing was that I'm so glad that I've been able to share, down by the riverside today, because otherwise, when you see an Indian singer, you kind of assume that there's an Indian song coming. And one of the things that I like to break is assumptions. And so, me and a friend, an Indian friend, have been working on a piece called The Road of the Wild Lily, where we sing in 10 different languages, including Arabic and Ukrainian. And it's a sort of piece
Wow.
on love and loss and the war. And we're hoping to take it to many places. We're kind of planning an India tour and a Europe tour, and seeing if the songs sort of can shine a light at this time. So, yeah, just I'd say look out for stories and people that aren't represented, and maybe ask somebody for their story. I think stories and songs are interesting, especially, and some of the most powerful ones come from the people that we least expected to come from at first glance. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I guess you'll be part of the Daily Antidote traveling circus, which we've been planning for quite a while. We'll be traveling by boat, train. I think donkey carts have been
excellent.
mentioned at some point. Quite a few different kinds of vehicles. So we hope that maybe we'll make it to India, or you'll make it to us, um, because it's so incredible to sing together every day this way on screen. But we're hoping eventually that we'll be singing together live, 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 and just gathering more and more of us as we meet each other live and in person. Absolutely, yes. So yes, the magic bus, definitely. So everyone, let us once again sing this beautiful marriage of songs that Shruthi has put together, the inspirational two songs, bringing these two cultures and our hearts across the continents, across the oceans, across the rivers. Let's sing it one more time.
And if anyone's looking for the meaning, you can find it on that little YouTube video. But for now, let's think of rivers and finding the shore. Kinaare lagao, kinaare lagao, kinaare lagao, kinaare lagao, naav kinaare lagao, prabhuji, naav kinaare lagao, prabhuji. Nadiya gahari, naav puraani, nadiya gahari, naav puraani, naav puraani, naav puraani, naav puraani, naav puraani, doobat naav taraav, prabhuji, doobat naav taraav, prabhuji. Gonna lay down my burdens down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna lay down my burdens down by the riverside. Gonna study war no more. Ain't 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 gonna study war no more. Gyaan dhyaan ki saangad baandhi, Gyaan dhyaan ki saangad baandhi, saangad baandhi, saangad baandhi, saangad baandhi, saangad baandhi. दौड़े दौड़े चले आओ प्रभु जी, दौड़े दौड़े चले आओ प्रभु जी. Gonna lay down down by the riverside, down by the riverside, gonna lay down my sword and shield. Down by the riverside, gonna study, oh no more. Kaahe meera, Kaahe meera, giridhara naagara. Kaahe meera, giridhara naagara, giridhara naagara, giridhara naagara, giridhara naagara, giridhara naagara. Charan kamala baliyao prabhuji, charan kamala baliyao prabhuji. Gonna lay down my burdens down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. Gonna lay down my burdens down by the riverside. Gonna study, oh no more. Kinaare lagao, Kinaare lagao, Kinaare lagao, Kinaare lagao. Now Kinaare lagao prabhuji, now Kinaare lagao prabhuji. Ain't gonna study war no more, 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 ain't gonna study war no more. Kinaare lagao, Kinaare lagao, Kinaare lagao, Kinaare lagao. Now Kinaare lagao prabhuji, now Kinaare lagao prabhuji. Ain't gonna study war no more, 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 ain't gonna study war no more. Naav Kinaare, 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 naav Kinaare. Oh.
You know, what really struck me, Shruti, also is ain't gonna study war no more. Obviously, you know, what's going on in the world, but also in our personal lives, you know, the small conflicts that arise that sometimes we don't mean to create a little war, but we do. And for me, yeah, I feel it's a really good reminder, especially this morning. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for bringing that marriage of those two songs, those cultures, those times coming together, and the power of women's music and the power of water always. You know that you and I are both big swimmers and we love the water, and I know that a lot of people here are as well. Thank you so much. Someone asked about the translation, and it is actually, Dan, the translation is in that beautiful video that I mentioned earlier. It's in the chat. Shruti made a gorgeous video singing these two songs, sitting by the river and playing percussion on river stones. So I highly recommend watching that if you want to relive this beautiful experience we had this morning. Thank you so much, Shruti. We hope that you'll be back with us soon. And of course, on the Daily Antidote, and of course in person as well, joining on the Daily Antidote traveling world. Thank you to Erin, always, for being our wonderful, wonderful tech person and making it so easy for the rest of us to just have fun and enjoy and go deeply into this music. Thank you to the Carpe Diem Arts for the team of Carpe Diem Arts, I know there's a lot of people on that team that bring this beautiful Daily Antidote to us today. Let's all say goodbye and wave to Facebook Live. Thank you for joining us, Facebook Live.